Oh, the nemesis to all detectors, foil and iron. A little bit of nail there and some foil. And I have 3 machines here. You know, these are big machines for me, right? I have a lot of different machines. I have probably 60 coils upstairs with a couple dozen detectors, right? And they've all had claims in the past, you know, when they were released. Oh, it can do this and it can do that and it can do this, you know, multi-frequency, you know, waterproof, you know, durable, you know, the batteries last twice as long as our competitors, you know, and it's just all a gimmick, right? I'm really skeptical on any detector that comes out, so I'm not really the person to ask, but I have a lot of experience with this because I have a lot of detectors, right? And I've seen all the gimmicks in the past, right? And let's look at these detectors, you know, and let's look at the history on it. You know, I had a video out a couple weeks ago about the technology, how it's really not advanced that much. But really, let's take a second look at that. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening to the technology now. You know, they're compressing all this technology into one single machine, so they're making it, you know, an all-terrain machine, right? They're not making it a specific for a specific use anymore, right? So they're actually making it so it's going to be harder to take to these spots that you are using really specialized detectors for, right? So if you're killing it with your specialized detector in this certain area that most of your detectors struggle in, these newer machines are probably going to struggle just like the newer machines, right? Just like the ones that have been in the past. You know, it's a lot of it's marketing gimmicks. And you know, let's look at the Minelab Equinox. You know, it was really the first machine that had a really good package. You know, all terrain, it worked good on the beach, waterproof, multi-frequency, lightweight. You know, it's not really a durable machine, but it performs well. And it has lithium batteries in it. You know, it has a backlight. You know, it's so freaking easy to change, and it's so easy to adjust the settings that are the most important and that should be the most accessible on a detector. You know, you got your mode right there. You got your gain right here. You got your accept reject, which I think kind of hinders this machine, because if you're in high EMI and you accidentally push this button, it'll notch out one of those segments there. And without you knowing it, if you push that button wrong and you're in high EMI and you're not really looking at close at your screen up there, it will notch out one of those and you will not know that, and you'll end up losing targets there or get some really erratic behavior, erratic tones, because it's being notched out there. So just pay close attention to that. You know, if you're in high EMI, look at your bar every once in a while, make sure you're not notched out, because if you push that button when you're in search mode and you're in high EMI, it'll notch that one out and you won't even know it. All right, but all of the necessary and settings that I need right now to adjust this machine are right here at your fingertips, right? The pinpoint button is right there in the center. You got your frequency, your iron, your settings. It's perfectly designed for a general all-around use machine. And you got your user preset, your light, and that's what I really like about the Equinox. If you're in a dark area, or if it starts getting dark out and you're trying to fumble to find your to turn the light on, you know, when it's dark out and you're fumbling on with your detector trying to turn your backlight on, the Equinox, you're not fumbling. All you do is push that light button right there. Just awesome freaking design, man. The reason why this machine was so great and so many people were raving about it when it first came out, because it had all this in one package. And now that we got the Deus 2 and the Nokta Legend coming out, well, it's got the same things, right? It really has the same things. Sure, The Nokta Legend, I just had the simplex here. This is not the Nokta Legend. The Nokta Legend has pretty much the same stuff as the Equinox will have, you know? Pretty much the same frequencies, pretty much the same battery life. It's probably going to be definitely more durable than the Equinox. Definitely. I can guarantee, that's one thing I can guarantee for sure. I cannot guarantee the performance of the machine, of the Legend, but I can guarantee that the Nokta Legend will be more durable than the Equinox. 100% sure. With the Deus, too, I'm not really sure, because Explorer has really not made a waterproof detector yet, so, and I was really hoping for something more in the range of, more in the area of a broader range of frequencies. Sure, we all knew that these most newer machines are going to be lightweight, telescopic, updatable, waterproof, but we just weren't really sure of the frequencies. You know, that's what really everybody was wanting to know that. And a lot of people may have been let down, but I wasn't let down. I had no expectations. I was just hoping that they would come out with a detector that had a broad range of frequencies to make it even more versatile than all these machines, right? So we're not really getting that much more, to tell you the truth. The Legend will be a simultaneous frequency machine. The first one that Nokta has ever released. Same with the Deus. Same with the Deus 2. Explorer XP really hasn't made a detector that's simultaneous frequency operation, right? You're running multiple frequencies all at the same time. But they have had multiple frequencies for a long time. XP is really good at multiple frequency machines. But the simultaneous frequencies, you know, everybody's going to be really surprised. Everybody's going to be really surprised, you know. If you're expecting something to be way better than the competition, or to be way better than the machines that we've had in the past, you're going to be really disappointed, man. Because they're going to have problems, you know, because they're doing something new, you know. XP has never made a waterproof machine yet. They've never made a simultaneous frequency machine yet. Nokta has never made a simultaneous frequency machine either. But they do have the waterproof thing down pretty good. You know, even the Equinox had quite a few problems with leakage issues. You know, they've fixed that since then. You know, and the Simplex had a lot of instability issues when it first came out. They've updated that a few times, and they've, you know, really done some great advancements with the Simplex. But with this multi-frequency thing, you know, I'm going to have some series of videos here, and I'm going to show you, you know, simultaneous frequency machines work good at sometimes, but in most of the areas that I hunt, I've only struggled with multi-frequency machines, right? They do hit on targets really good, but once you get around some trash or different conductors in the ground there at different depths, you know, it's going to be a really unstable machine. And I believe, you know, I'm going to start out just in the single frequencies. I'll try it a little bit with the multi-frequencies. You know, I'm not too much big of a fan, you know, of the multi-frequency machines, because it's just a lot of dial-in, and, you know, when you get some EMI, it's a struggle. And I was really hoping for a multi-frequency to come out on the market, you know. Say you're in a multi-frequency, you're running four frequencies at one time, you know, it's going to hit on different conductive metals a little bit easier. It's hard to explain, you know, what it's going to do. The higher frequencies is going to hit on the lower conductive targets a lot better. the lower frequencies are going to hit on those bigger targets or those higher conductors a lot better. And if you're running a really low frequency and a really high frequency at one time in a trashy spot, you're going to struggle, right? But I was hoping, you know, since there's a lot of EMI around, you know, like I've said in my past videos, there's EMI everywhere, different kinds of EMI, different, you know, you got conductive, you got inductive EMI. And I was hoping for a detector that had a broader range of frequencies and also simultaneously, of course, you know, it's always good to have that simultaneous frequency running sometimes. But if I'm getting some EMI, I want to be able to notch one of those frequencies, because usually it's like a troublesome frequency that's giving you a certain range, you know. But I still want to be running in a simultaneous frequency operation, but I want to just notch that frequency out. I want to noise cancel that certain frequency out, right? And still run simultaneous frequencies. But I want to just do that on a push of a button, right? I don't want to have to freaking go through all my frequencies and find out which frequency is giving the problem, then stay away from that frequency and go to a different mode or go to different frequencies. I just want to push a button, and I want the metal detector to figure all that out for me with it. Just one button push, like a noise cancel, right? Hopefully the newer machines have that operation. But I was really hoping for a little bit more of a broader range of frequencies. You know, 4 kilohertz to 40 kilohertz is just the same what we've been running, you know, and really to pick more out of the ground to really get through those troublesome sites, you know, we have to have more frequency selection, right? You know, I want a detector that I can swing around with one coil. I can swing it fast, I can go deep, and I can also put it into a lower frequency or a really high frequency, you know, in 80 kilohertz. You know, I've had really good results on going through picked out sites and hitting on targets that other detectors have skipped, running at 14 kilohertz or running at single frequency machines, lower frequencies. You know, those higher frequencies can really get those targets that other guys have missed in the past. You know, you look at the Deus when it first came out, guys were just killing it with that high frequency coil in beat up spots, because it can get through that get those little small targets out of the way, and then you can get to the deeper targets, right? And these nails and the foil really mask a lot of targets. So I'm going to show you here in a few videos, and I'm just going to concentrate on one single machine, right? I'm going to mask a target, you know, the dime and the quarter and the $50, and I'm going to mask those targets that are deeper in the ground there with these two targets here, and I'm going to show you that how each of these machines perform. I'm going to concentrate on one machine at a time in different videos, right? The simplex I really won't be able to do much because it's only a single frequency machine and I don't really have recovery speed, and those two settings have a lot to do with what you're going to get through. You know, to get through this stuff here, you really have to know what setting you're going to be using. And I do a lot of testing. I mean, I just test and test and test and test. Every day I'm out here, I probably average 8 hours a week testing in my gardens, right? Doing something, right? Just so I know what to listen for. When I'm going out there and I'm out in the field, it's not like I'm just going out there willy-nilly and just swinging around. I do a lot of testing, so I know what to listen for, right? I'm unmasking targets as I go. If you look at my live dig videos, I'm unmasking a lot of targets, you know, especially the Deus. I can really unmask a lot of those targets because I can pinpoint them fast and get them out faster. You know, if I have a detector that's struggling on that surface stuff, there's no way I'm going to be able to get that deeper stuff in the ground, right? A lot of this stuff has to come out of the ground. And a lot of sites, like with a lot of iron in them, they're just nothing you can do, right? There's no detector. At this point in time, there's no detector that's going to get through the iron, right? And there's no detector that's going to get through the foil. You just got to get out of the ground. And the faster you can get that stuff out of the ground, you know, maybe not the nails, you know, I'm not really keen on just scraping on nails all day long, just find a bunch of more nails, you know, 6 foot deep, you know. But there's a lot of stuff near the surface, the jewelry and the rings hang out near the surface of the ground. You look at it, you know, you can find 100-year-old rings within 4 inches deep on the surface. I find them all the time, man. All the time. Jewelry does not go deep, and that's what I'm really after. You know, I'm really not after the deep coins, you know, spending that a lot of time swinging slow and getting those deep wheat pennies. You know, how much is a wheat penny worth? How much is a silver dime worth? $1. You know, if you're really lucky, you might find a $20 silver coin. You know, it's pretty much mostly luck anyway. But, you know, I would rather get those gold rings and the jewelry on the surface, because, you know, it's a lot of work. The modern trash is a lot of work to get through. But in the parks, you know, if you're swinging slow and you're going for that deep stuff, you know, you're going to struggle on those surface targets. You know, if you're swinging for with a big coil. You know, I've said it a few times in the past, you know, choose the right coil. If you're going for the jewelry, put a small coil on and just swing fast. If you're going for the deeper stuff, you know, the deeper dimes that are worth $1 a piece, you know, put a big coil on and swing slow and dig a lot of nails, right? I'm really after, you know, I want to make the best use of my time, and the more that I'm digging out of the ground, even if it's junk or good stuff, the less I'm digging out of the ground. And the more that I'm digging out of the ground, even if it's pull tabs or some foil or whatnot, I'm still clearing the ground out, and I'm able to hit on those deeper targets, you know, just in case it's masking another target. I don't know how many videos I have unmasking targets, you know, just in my live dig videos, you know, just over and over again, you know. In super trashy spots, you just got to get the junk out, right? And those multi-frequency machines are going to struggle in those environments, right? Because there's so many different conductive metals next to each other, right? So it's going to be difficult to pinpoint. I'm not expecting anything. I'm just hoping for a little bit better stability on these multi-frequency machines that are coming out. The Nokta Legend and the Deus 2 will be really good machines, but they're going to have some problems, you know. Who knows what problems they're going to have? You know, every machine that comes out on the market that's released, they always have problems, but at least they're updatable and they'll be able to fix that. Well, thank you for watching. Please subscribe.